Mermaids might not be mythical creatures anymore. If these crazy sightings are anything to go by, looks like the mysterious humanoids might actually be lurking in our waters. Here's a mermaid that was not afraid to show off its true form. It appears that a tour boat in Mallorca, Spain received quite the surprise while they were traveling across the water. Although it wasn't that close to the ship, passengers quickly realized that a mysterious creature was resting on a rock off in the distance. It would have been easy to assume that this was a common sea mammal, but this was actually far from it. The creature appeared to have a fishtail for a lower body, but its proportions definitely resembled a humanoid. The blue skin was also a clear indication that this was not your average aquatic animal that you would likely see on regular boat tours. While many people were rushing over to the side of the ship to snag photos and videos, there's a good chance the boat captain was not interested in sticking around for very long. If we have a look at classic tales from sailors and pirates alike, it's entirely possible that this creature might have been holding a very deadly position. Many pirates believe that sirens would lure unsuspecting sailors into a dangerous trap by using beauty and song to attract them. Although we couldn't hear any haunting tunes in the background of this video, probably wouldn't have been a good idea to get any closer for a listening party. Now have a look at this leaping mermaid that put on a surprise performance for the camera. Perhaps it wasn't expecting anyone to be watching, but this mermaid actually showed its full form above the surface. What seemed like a pretty normal video at first ended up having a rather shocking twist. It looked like this person was just filming the calm waves moving along the water until a mysterious creature jumped out of the waves. While it definitely had a humanoid-like figure, this probably isn't how many people would picture a mermaid. Movies and cartoons have depicted these mythical creatures as beautiful beings that look very similar to humans from the waist up. This one, however, almost had an extraterrestrial-like presence. Its dark blue skin was quite odd to say the least, and it also had long arms that did not look very human. It only stayed above the water for a very brief moment, but it was long enough for everyone to get a good look. This obviously would have stunned the person behind the camera, but perhaps they had already seen the creature and were waiting to capture it on film. This one was also extremely similar to the one that was spotted in Spain, which has led people to believe that humanoids could be lurking in the deep sea. There's no doubt that many people will want to see more of this one in the future, but it's a total mystery if it will ever show its face again. Speaking of putting on a show, have a look at this giant fishtail that has really stunned experts around the world. Although the location of this sighting remains unknown, it appears that a witness might have captured a mermaid splashing its tail. This thing is considerably bigger than most other aquatic mammals, and many have likened the appearance of the fishtail to that of a mermaid's. This one also has less of an alien-like appearance than our previous sightings, and definitely looks like a tail you'd expect to see on a mermaid. Now unfortunately this one never showed the rest of its body above the surface, but the tail alone was enough to get people talking. Experts have been trying to understand what this creature could be, but it's really anyone's guess at this point. The other thing to take into account here is the unusual movement pattern. The tail was frolicking around and creating quite a scene, and some have speculated that it might have been trying to catch a fish. Its true identity and its strange behavior are both a guessing game at this point, so hopefully we will see more from this suspected humanoid in the near future. Now we have a close call with a very hostile mermaid. It appears that this mythical creature is not a big fan of water sports. What should have been a relaxing day on the water for these guys ended up turning into a terrifying encounter. The clip already starts off in a dire situation, as one of the paddleboarders has taken a tumble into the water. It would have been safe to assume that they were caught off guard by a wave, but it looks like the fall was not self-inflicted. As the person is in a mad panic to get back onto the board, a giant fishtail splashes above the surface right next to them. Although it's pretty difficult to tell, the way this thing was smacking its tail on the surface of the water would lead you to believe that it was not in a very good mood. Perhaps these people accidentally paddled too close to its home, and this creature wanted them to leave at once. We did not get to see the full size of the creature on this occasion, but the width of this tail should tell you that it was pretty darn big. While this terrible situation could have ended very badly for the paddleboarders, the creature eventually swam away and left them alone. While many of us would hope that these creatures are peaceful and friendly, looks like that might not be the case after all. And finally we have a glowing mermaid in Puerto Rico. That's right, this strange, unidentified creature was actually giving off a blue glow while it was swimming underwater. It was initially spotted by two fishermen in Puerto Rico who were taking their boat out for a late night cruise. Perhaps they thought they could reel in a good catch in the dark of night, but they received a pretty wild surprise instead. A strange creature came swimming close to their boat and was not doing a very good job of remaining incognito. That's because it was giving off a bright blue glow that stuck out like a sore thumb. The fishermen were obviously shocked by what they were seeing, and you could tell they were pretty terrified. There is a type of phytoplankton in the area that has the ability to glow underwater, but this thing seemed like like a full-sized creature. You could actually spot a black mass that was swimming in unison with the blue light, and may believe this was some type of humanoid. Although it was nearly impossible to see its full proportions, it does appear to have some humanoid qualities. We've never heard of glowing mermaids in the past, but it now seems entirely possible they could possess this strange ability. And that wraps up our look at the 5 times mermaids have been spotted in real life. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you all next time.